If you are aiming to build a strong performance marketing team, then here is a video with full guide of how to build, how to hire, whom to hire, what skills to look for. Everything is covered in this video. Team structure and roles. This is how we structure our team. Media buyer, he launches the creatives. Analytics guy is also the media buyer, and ad creative analysis is done by the media buyer. So media buyer is not essentially involved in the creative process initially, but he gives feedback on what creatives are performing, what creatives he requires iterations about, what creatives are not performing. Everything is handled from the media buyer side. Next, coming to the creative strategist. Here, the creative strategist knows about the market, what's going on in the market, what's trending, plans on what next product to advertise about, then also finds opportunities in existing creatives and in existing advertising, where all can we expand our market. Then they write briefs for copywriter to expand on it, to write the creatives. They come up with ideas of what the creative should be, what the product should be. That's the role of the creative strategist and the copywriter. If you see, there's no disconnect between any role, and every role is defined and very clear, so that the loop clearly exists. The creative strategist knows the plans on the next product, they give the brief, copywriter writes the copy, media buyer launches the creative, and media buyer analyzes the creative, and then feedback to creative strategist again that this is what is working. Again, the creative strategist writes the brief. So that's how the cycle expands and revolves. Number 2, graphic designer is involved in designing images and carousels, and video editor to edit videos. Here, freedom is important for your creative team to exercise, because otherwise you might think the imagination, while you imagine a certain brief to look a certain way, the video editor might have a improved experience and more tangible evidence in terms of when he's editing the video. Whenever you work on it, you have more creative ideas flowing. So give the video buyer, give the video editor and the graphic designer more freedom to exercise than restricting them with brand constraints. Let them come up with their own ideas to improve the video edits and the explanations. Number 2, how to hiring. The best talent is employed, and they are rarely out in the market. So if you want to build the best team, you have to find places where the best talent is already is. And the best place we have found always is in other agencies. We have never hired or hunted or poached any person from any other agency, but we are just saying that the best place to find talent is in other agency, because agency is a fast-paced environment. They have a very wide worldview of what is working among many brands rather than just one brand of yours. So hiring them is always a good option. And the best talent, if you're looking for, look for intensity is important in marketing. It is very underappreciated, but it is important because intensity drives action, and action drives more tests and everything, and more tests usually drive better understanding of what the market is about. Intensity is an important metric. Intensity in media buying, intensity in creative, everything. Because with AI, the speed will be more important, and the quality of it also. Speed with quality is not something you can compromise on. Quantity can be delivered with quality also. Number 3. So I would recommend to hire younger folks while you have a consultant. This is for brands who are into relatively younger journey of 0 to 10 lakh or 0 to 15 lakh per month revenue. Here, instead of hiring a full-blown agency, or hiring in-house, look for a in-house teammate who are younger folks who have some basic knowledge about advertising, but hire an experienced consultant so he can directionally give understanding to the younger folk of what exactly needs to be done, while the execution is still done by the younger one, who after a few years can play a major role and occupy a senior role. Number 4, I would give a test whenever I am hiring. I would always give a test during the hiring process, and hiring form is always long. I have never created a hiring form less than 10 questions. All 10 questions are related to the role I am hiring for. For media buyer, I may talk about analytics question. For a creative brief, I may talk about how do you research and everything, because that is when the rigor is established of how the thinking is. Even after filling the form, there is a second test which is there, which is usually live, or it is within a period of 24 hours they will have to deliver the work. It is usually paid, so nothing is unpaid. Even the test is paid, so we pay for them to complete the test. That is how we have hired, and it has been always better because it helps weed out the best. It's not to weed out the best, but weed out the bad, filter out best in them. That's why the hiring process is elaborate and with long questions. Number 3, training and onboarding. This is mostly skipped inside the brand. Whenever the brand is hiring for in-house training, they expect the talent to have high experience and they should understand everything in jiffy. That does not happen because there is a brand context. Even if there is 10 years experience the person is coming with, there's brand context, brand goals, targets that needs to be understood, which takes time for a new joinee to understand it. Hence, this is what we usually follow. Just show them the videos of Bharat Mavens YouTube channel. You can also show them. It's all out in public. Just go to Bharat Mavens on YouTube and you will find it. Then we also get them to follow people on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Some of the people we make them follow is these 5 people, and ask them to watch podcasts, Marketing Operators podcast and Operators podcast. They are pretty good sense of how the training is. After that, it's usually that we start with, for creative strategists, there are creative set of videos we have created, and for media buyers, a set of videos we have created. Apart from that, there's a long video created just for the SOP and how the brand functions, because this is something which is not informed immediately, not informed, and the new joinee has usually to learn. Instead, to cut short that time, we have created a detailed video of SOP, how the brand functions, where to report, what to report, how to analyze, everything in detail. Even the brands can follow this. Number 4, in-house or outsource. This is what we usually take. This is controversial, but this depends on the muscle you want to develop. There are 3 functions in performance marketing which decides whether you want to go in-house or outsource. One is creative ideation and direction. Number 2 is creative production, and number 3 is media buying. Production is best to outsource because you will almost always find it cheaper outsourced someone outside to an agency. Media buying, it depends. If you have a good media buyer, then please take it in-house. But if not, you can even outsource it. It's not a big deal. But creative ideation and direction, it's always recommended that in-house capabilities are there, because that's the most important part of performance marketing. And ideation and direction also help constraint in terms of brand constraints are established and brand ethos are followed whenever the creative is done in-house. So this is what the take is. Let's get started with must-have skills. Any creative strategist or media buyer or the copywriter must have skills about research, understanding consumer sentiment and pulse, know the market, both category and general DTC, not just about the category you are in, but also generally in what is going on in DTC. They should be able to quickly analyze analytics and find hypothesis and build hypothesis and test it again. This should be a quick action. It should not be slow. Next, produce qualitative and quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis is easy to produce, just create a few metrics. But they'll have to produce qualitative analytics to give a strong sense of how good they are. Then they should have a strong intuition which is also proven to be true of why something works. Usually we have a question that how do we understand they have a consumer sentiment and pulse? How do we understand during hiring? The question you need to ask here is, what is it you know about the category that you find it true that most people don't? Like, this is a question you should be asking. You should be asking questions about the category or something unusual buying behavior he has observed in the category, not in the same category but any other category. Try to understand and ask questions which are related to the consumer market and sentiment, and see if the answer interests you or does excite you. Next, alignment. This is often skipped step in brand, but you'll have to create an alignment between your goal, your brand goal, and the joinee and the fresh hire. Show me the incentive, as Charlie Munger famously said, show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. That is how incentive drives behaviors for any person anywhere. So that is why we always propose that apart from the best salary which you are offering, always give them a models like 2x salary if you achieve this milestone in 6 months, or 2x salary like for 1 month. It's not 2xing salary for every month, but 2x salary for 1 month. for the month of October or for the month of December, something like that. Or they get a percent of ad spend if we achieve monthly targets. This is also something that can be followed. Say you have established that we are spending 3 lakh, we want a goal of 10 lakh sales, and if we achieve that, then we'll give 5% of ad spend to the new fresher every month. So that is how it is. Every month there is target set, every month it is connected and seen what works. That is how you drive incentive and alignment between your team. When you are building a team, you have to drive an incentive and an alignment between your brand goal and the fresher's goal, which is usually is to make more money. Next, measuring success. How do you measure the success? It is very clear. Before starting the month, note down the following targets. This can be per product or collective, both. It can be revenue per product you want, ROAS, ad spend, products you are advertising, and break-even ROAS, and the target on each product. Don't just have the target for whole revenue target. Yes, that is also there, but apart from that, have targets for each product and each product's ROAS targets and the unit economics targets, which is CAC and AOV. This is how you track and drive incentive. Next, retaining. How do you retain a good talent? These are the 4 areas which Ashish Mohapatra, founder of Off Business, famously said. There are only 4 reasons a employee can stay with you. That is, 1 is for freedom, 2 is for growth, 3 is for challenges, 4 for resources. These are the 4 areas you will have to juggle between to retain the talent. They are in it for more money, more fame, more power, and more freedom. So that is always you need to drive. Usually when they are fresh, they are looking for more money itself. Usually that is the case. But after that, after they have a baseline achieved, that is more about, can I handle more senior positions like growth? Then it is about freedom to do what we can in terms of in the constraints of the goals, but freedom to do what we can. So you'll have to juggle between giving them a challenge and providing them resources. If they're coming to you just asking for problems and just inquiring about this is the problem, then they are usually not a good hire. They should be coming to you with lack of resources, and they ask for resources and they figure out what the solution is. You have to give them challenge resource. So that is how you help them grow and give them more freedom to find out the solution by themselves. So later on in next stages, they can handle a senior position also. These are the 4 areas to retain the talent. Thank you for watching.